Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I received some feedback from a few people saying that they thought my videos could use some voiceover, so I'm giving that a try. Let me know what you think. So for this recipe, we're going to be making chicken parmesan stuffed peppers. So these aren't going to be traditional chicken parmesan where it's going to have breading in it. I'm trying to make this healthier. I believe this is keto. It uses cheese, so it's not paleo, but if you were paleo, you could probably just not use the cheese. And then if you are vegetarian, maybe use like black beans instead of the chicken. So right now I'm just cutting the peppers in half and then like taking the seeds out. You don't want to take the little top part off because that actually kind of holds it together. So yeah, just cut those up and put them in a little pan. We'll get to that later on. Now we're going to just add some spinach. I like to kind of throw in spinach or arugula or something pretty much whenever I can, just because I don't really spend a lot of time like sauteing just like leaves. So I like to just throw it in because otherwise I might not eat it. So yeah, we're just gonna add some spinach, and sometimes the spinach has like some leaves in it that don't look super great. So I'm just picking those out and then kind of sorting through it, making sure everything looks good, and then we'll just like roughly chop the spinach. This is more of a personal preference. I just like when my spinach is like smaller in size versus like the big leaves. That's just what I prefer. So I like to cut it up before. Now we're going to move on to cooking the chicken. So I'm really bad at measuring things, but I'm trying to get better. I'll work on that more in the next video, but this is probably about a tablespoon of olive oil, and you just add that to a pan and you heat it on probably like medium to high heat. And then I just got like a package of organic ground chicken from Trader Joe's. You could also probably sub turkey in for it. Turkey's just a little bit more dry, so you might need to add a little bit more liquid if you were going to use turkey. Chicken's usually pretty moist, so I don't usually have a problem with it being dry when it's ground. And then just, cook the chicken a little bit, and then I just like to season my ground meat like early on, so I'm adding some pepper, and again, I know there aren't measurements, but it's probably about like a teaspoon each, probably a little bit less for the salt. I don't like to cook with too much salt, so just a little crack of the salt, and then I like the garlic flavor a lot, so I would use a little bit more garlic powder if you're not using fresh garlic, which I don't always do. And then some red pepper. I really like spicy, so definitely cut down on the red pepper if you don't like spicy, because that's a good amount of red pepper. And then just some herbs. So I just used oregano, but you could use fresh herbs. You could use like parsley, basil, rosemary, whatever you have. I just chose oregano because that's what I had on hand. So just cook that all together, coat it. And with ground chicken or ground meat in general, I try to like just really spend a lot of time like breaking it up because I just want it to be like into like the smallest pieces as possible. And you really are just gonna cook it down until most of the liquid is gone. I'm not necessarily browning this, I'm just cooking it through completely. And then add the spinach. And when you cook with spinach, you really don't have to cook it for very long. It cooks relatively easy, and then we're also going to be putting this in the oven, so just like you really just want to like wilt it down but not overcook it. And then once that's all done, we're going to add the marinara sauce. I just found this like organic tomato basil marinara at Trader Joe's, but you could use pretty much whatever you have. And I don't think you can see it, but I fill this up to about a cup and a half. You could probably do a little bit more if you wanted it a little bit more liquidy, but I liked the consistency that a cup and a half created. And you don't want to cook this down too much because when you're cooking marinara sauce like on the pan like this, it can sometimes become really pasty if too much water evaporates from it. So I'm really just trying to coat it together, heat the marinara up a little bit so it marinates in with the chicken and spinach. But otherwise, that's all you really want to do. You just want to like get everything uniform, but you don't want to overcook it at all. So yeah, this is what it should look like at the end of cooking the chicken with the sauce. Just a nice texture. So now we're going to do the stuffed part for stuffed peppers. So these peppers were a little bit smaller than the first pepper was kind of big, but the other two were kind of smaller. So normally I would probably be able to fit more in, but you just want to fill the pepper up with the filling until you reach the top, like so. And you don't want to overflow it, but you kind of want to stuff it as much as you can. And then now I'm adding just shredded mozzarella cheese. So this is like kind of part of the chicken parmesan play where, you know, regular chicken parmesan will have like the top of the chicken covered in mozzarella. So just like put a little bit of mozzarella on top. You could also use sliced mozzarella. That would probably be good in this as well. And now you're just going to add like half of a cup of water. And this is really just like steam the peppers, because sometimes if you don't add the water, the peppers kind of stay hard. And I mean, if you like that, you could probably not put the water in, but I like it when the pepper is a little bit softer. And then you're just going to cover it up with foil so it can create kind of like a steam in there. And then you're going to put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about an hour. And this is our final product. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed.